very first question to you is, at what age do you want to retire?
Well, I think it's not something you need to plan because in this world where everything is changing so fast, I mean, there might be so many interesting things coming that there will be no time for retirement. It depends on what we mean by retiring. It's questionable. Hope I will be able to combine retirement with very interesting stuff that could be treated as working.
How long does it take you to get ready in the morning?
10 minutes, 15 minutes.
One of your most embarrassing moments of your life?
Pass. I
What's your favorite color?
Blue.
What time of the day are you the most inspired? Are you a morning person? Are you a
Morning.
night owl?
Mostly morning.
How many hours of sleep can you survive on?
4 hours.
The city in which the best, the best sunrise that you've seen in a particular city.
I think Sydney.
Pick one: Mark Zuckerberg or Elon Musk.
None.
How many cups of coffee do you drink per day?
8, 9.
What is your favorite Netflix show, or generally a favorite show?
Many actually. Breaking Bad is good. Better Call Saul is good. Well,
One word to describe your leadership style.
transparency.
Ideal vacation spot for relaxation.
Snooker, I guess.
We'll start with a quick introduction for you, so you can just quickly introduce yourself in, let's say, 30 seconds.
Okay. I'm Vakhtang Abrahamyan. I'm CEO of Fastex. Fastex is a big ecosystem that consists of the VASP, digital marketplace, blockchain, native coin, and many other Web3 components.
Regulations around DeFi and blockchain are rapidly changing. How does Fastex navigate this evolving regulatory environment, and what impact do these changes have on the company?
Okay. Well, regulation, as you correctly mentioned, are becoming part of our life. Comparing to 3-5 years before now, it was totally unregulated, I would say, environment where crypto company, Web3 companies, particularly exchanges, were acting. Nowadays, it's quite regulated environment, and we in our strategy, one of the primary directions is to be compliant. You know that by the end of this year the MiCA regulation comes into force, which means that from January 2025 actually we will be acting under very complex regulation environment, which we are ready now, and we do think that for the global businesses having regulated environment is very good for mid-term to long-term strategic planning.
Well, just to follow up to that, what upcoming regulations do you think will have the biggest impact on the DeFi industry?
Well, as I said, the MiCA regulation that be coming into force by January 2025 has quite complete coverage of all aspects of Web3, starting from the stable coins, asset tokenization, all those stuff, and definitely the AML regulation, the digital identity components, all those travelers rules, all those traditional finance regulations also will be expanded at certain stage to the Web3 environment, including DeFi's, I guess. That's why we should wait for the coming 1-2 year on new regulations, and we do expect also that the major markets such as US, in LATAM, maybe China, would be also part of those changes.
So, how do you see these partnerships evolving, and what's Fastex's role in this?
Fastex actually directly the part of that collaboration. Actually, we do cooperate with traditional financial institutions starting from issuing the credit cards or debit cards for our customers with MasterCard and other Visa and other prominent companies and financial institutions. I do see that this cooperation is win-win scenario. So definitely there are and there should be a synergies for traditional finance and technologies like Web3. We do witness also that the global companies such as Citi, HSBC are exploring the blockchain technologies, distributed ledger technologies, and definitely in the areas like payments, insurance, collateralization, asset tokenization. All those are part of our current even activities. So there is a room for improvement. There is a room for digitalization again, and we will be witnessing each and every as a customer of financial institution, more and more services that would be run on Web3.
So what's your vision for how DeFi will continue to disrupt and reshape the financial ecosystem?
Well, it's in a sense when DeFi were introduced. Actually, it was quite disruptive. Nowadays, again, coming to the previous question, there is more and more room for cooperation and collaboration. And for me, the DeFi and Web3 technologies are bringing transparency, security in a sense, more and more user experience, and especially new generation would prefer to have reliance on those types of services, because also we are dealing with the smart contracts that are self-executed at certain point, and there is more transparency again, and the trust is a key for attracting the customers and having competitive advantage. So traditional finance would be using more and more those instruments to bring new customers and survive in competition.
How have you positioned Fastex to be at par with the competition, the other fintech companies?
Okay. Well, Fastex is a global company, as I said. It's a group of companies. I don't know, we are now in Dubai. You may see in Dubai Mall our digital space of NFT gallery. We have the blockchain with native coin. We have the Bahamut Foundation, which attract grant or provide grants for blockchain projects. We have a vast activity in Europe, here in Dubai. We have a pre-approval and waiting for final operational license from VARA. We have a number of other activities in metaverse, creating businesses in metaverse and assisting companies and e-commerce institutions, financial institutions. So on one hand, we are acting as a pure Web3 group of companies in different dimensions, almost covering everything in Web3. But meanwhile, we are acting also as a technology partner for traditional financial institutions, which is, I think, one of the key roles to, when you have the experience and knowledge, to share it and to find mutually beneficial projects with the traditional financial and other institutions. So it puts us in a unique position, having experienced staff also, to provide also technology solutions for existing businesses.
Which marketing channels have been the most effective in terms of driving awareness and engagement for Fastex?
There are a number of strategies. Well, setting up the meetups, for example, on a weekly basis is something that we practice as usual to create a community. To the grant programs also brings many startups and companies that creates very unique professional community around us, and also attractive fees. Why not the tariff policies and features that we provide for our customers on our exchange platform also brings us a lot of good traffic, I would say.
Market research is an important factor in identifying opportunities. How does your team identify those in the DeFi sector, and how do you stay ahead?
Oh, okay. As a global company, we present in different areas of the world: Europe, Middle East, LATAM. So we do have a partnership with many uh, businesses, peers, even regulators. So we are part of the trends that are happening nowadays, part of the regulatory initiatives, part of the these huge events like the GITEX and other international conferences where we're actively present. So it all creates the network channels that you exchange a lot of information with your peers. So this helps a lot to be in tune.
So, how does Fastex balance a long-term vision with the short-term needs of the entire market?
Definitely, as every company and group of companies, we have long-term strategic plans. And because the market and the current situation are very rapidly changing and very dynamic, focusing on current trends and finding the moment to enter into the market, being compliant with the regulatory requirements. All are the part of the big picture that we try to balance. Having professional team is the key here. So each and every member of team knows what to do, how to do, and it will help. It helps us through periodic synchronization of our long-term plan with the existing or current strategies and operations. Help us to stay on a top level here.
Customer trust is key in DeFi, which is still evolving and new. So, what are your steps to taking and maintaining trust with your users?
Yeah, trust is the key, absolutely, and being transparent and open. Starting from showing the fees and costs for your customers very transparently and straightforward, finishing with sharing the plans and bringing community into a number of discussions to make decisions for the future development uh, is a key for gaining the trust. So we are very open. We don't have anything to hide. And in Web3, you obviously know that it's hard to hide something, starting from the transaction or proof of reserves or whatsoever. So definitely it's part of our strategy and we are very transparent. That is the key for gaining the trust.
Well, how do you see emerging technologies like blockchain and AI combine and contribute to increase, overall customer experience?
Well, when we talk about the customer experience, it's mostly about the personalized services that they expect, right? So, in terms of blockchain and new technologies in general, we have a huge amount of data being created or generated at every moment of time. So, AI is here to help to analyze, to find uh, behavioral patterns, some trends that could help us make an informed decision. And again, the key is personalized services, tailor-made services for each and every customer, which should be based on data analytics. And the quality of data is very important, definitely, but the ability to analyze those data are the key, and AI is here to help us a lot.
Okay, so moving on. Balancing innovation with compliance. In the fast moving world of DeFi, how do you balance the need for innovation with regulatory compliance?
Yeah, at certain points, I wouldn't say they are mutually exclusive. So if the heavily regulated environment stops or don't allow the innovation to take place, but definitely it creates some rules where, in a long-term perspective, is very important for companies like us to move forward. So here is the key question, I guess, is to find the right balance in terms of planning mid-term to long-term goals, uh, balanced with the compliance and regulatory environment. Because you may have 1 year figures, financial figures, very impressive without particular regulation in place. But when you see the 3 to 5 year horizon, definitely the regulation is there to help, to protect the business, to protect the customer rights, consumer rights.
What would be your advice to other fintech leaders facing the similar challenges or on the similar spot as Fastex?
Well, my advice would be to cooperate rather than fight, to enter into the communities, start public-private partnership in any form that is possible, dialogue and mutually beneficial projects with the financial institutions in place, also very important. So through the dialogue, through uh, open discussions and sometimes mutually exclusive ideas that could come up, it's better to discuss and prove your point of view rather than fighting somewhere or trying to find some blind spots to enter without any regulation.
So, one of DeFi's promises is greater financial inclusion. How is Fastex working to ensure that these technologies reach underserved communities?
Yeah, the blockchain in DeFi's are the key for financial inclusion, especially in regions where we have sort of a limited access to finance from traditional financial services perspective. I could give an example that the Fastex wallet, which is a self-custodian wallet that we have deployed, had 6 to 7 million downloads for the first month of its issuance. So this is a right example that there is a demand, and I'm sure that part of those downloads happens in an areas and places where there are some limitation of the access to finance from traditional finance point of view. And the remittances, payments, digital payments are the areas where the blockchain and distributed ledger technologies and digital assets could bring a revolutionary breakthrough on the consumers' landscape.
How does Fastex measure success in expanding financial accesses through DeFi? And what is your generally matrix of measuring success?
Well, success could be defined in number of indicators, starting from financial ones, which is also the obvious component, but the customer base, the retention rate, the volumes of transactions, the number of transactions, the number of customers increasing, the feedbacks we have, the customer support interaction with the customers, all those are, and at the end of the day, recognition that we have, including our cooperation with the regulators and finishing with the peer partners, peer institutions, collaboration, number of projects we are in. All those are the good indicators, and all those numbers are growing quite fast. So we do see that we are on the right track. And the trust again and being transparent and open with the partners, even with the competitors, is very important component of that.
So, this is the last question. So, if not Fastex, what would you be doing with your life?
Well, taking into the fact that I have been working at the central bank for 25 years, I had done it. Then Fastex comes next. So I do see the Fastex for coming 5-10 years period becoming global. It's already a global company, but becoming top leaders, one of the top leaders in a global market in this area. So there is, it's not if, it's about when. So I'll be with Fastex for a long time.